So you might be wondering, how much house can I afford? But in this video, we're gonna figure out how to calculate our debt to income ratio. If you're in the market to buy a house, your mortgage lender is gonna look at a couple of main factors to determine how much you can qualify for. Most people know to check your credit score and credit history, but they aren't aware of the debt to income ratio and how it works. What is a debt to income ratio? Your DTI is a comparison of your monthly debts to your gross monthly income, which is your income before taxes. The higher that percentage, the higher your risk of default. Lenders like borrowers with a debt to income ratio of 43% or less. Why? Because this leaves plenty of money for living expenses, saving, and reducing your risk of loan default. So you might be asking yourself, what's included in the debt to income ratio? The only information you need to calculate this DTI is your total debts and your total income. Seems simple enough. Debts to include in your DTI. These debts you should include are the ones that show up on your credit report. A few examples include car payments, minimum credit card payments, personal loan payments, and student loans, and a few others, of course. The DTI also includes the new mortgage that you're applying for, which includes principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. And it might also include homeowners association dues and mortgage insurance if those apply. So you may be wondering, Bob, what income do I include in my DTI? You may include any income that the lender will use for qualifying purposes. Obviously, this includes your full-time income, but if you have any other sources of income that have a 2-year history and will continue for the foreseeable future, you may include them too. Common examples of those are alimony, child support that you might receive, any side gigs that you run with income that you can prove. Calculating your DTI. With these two totals, you can calculate your own debt to income ratio using this calculation. Total debts divided by total income equals your debt to income ratio. So here's an example. Jan makes $7,000 a month before taxes. Her debts include the following: minimum credit card payments $150, car payment $300, student loan payments of $250, and the new mortgage payment of $1,750. Jan's debt to income ratio is $2,450 divided by 7,000, which equals 35%. How to lower your debt to income ratio. If your debt to income ratio is a little higher than the lender might like, here's a few ways that you can lower it. Pay your credit cards down or off. If you have credit card debt, try to pay it off. If you can't, at least pay them down so that your minimum payment drops, and you're going to lower your debt to income ratio by doing that. Pay down other debts as well. If you have other consumer debts, you can pay down to have less than 6 payments. We might even exclude those from your debt to income ratio. So next one, increase your income. If your income is too low, take on a part-time job or a side gig. You'll need to show receipt of income for a while, so the sooner that you start this, the better. As you can see, your debt to income ratio is just as important as your credit score when buying a home. Take the time to figure out your DTI and where you stand before thinking about buying a house. You can prepare both your credit score and your debt ratio early on to increase your chances of loan approval and buying the house of your dreams. We have a very simple 3-step approach to do so. Feel free to look at the top pinned comment or the link in the description for a couple of different things. You're going to be able to download our mortgage calculator app where you can actually do this calculation right from my calculator that I developed for all of our home buyer clients. In addition to that, you can pull your own pre-qualification certificate. Once those two things are completed, you can get on my calendar for a discovery call, of which we can address all of your questions and to start to develop a clear home buying plan just tailored for you and your unique situation. We make it ultra simple. Let's do this in a data-driven and calm manner, and the chances of you buying a home are ultra easy, ultra clear. And until then, enjoy those sunny days. Stay sweet.